Hello everyone and welcome to this training video in which we will see how to fly the SA315B LAMA. Now this helicopter is not equipped with autopilot, but that does not mean you cannot fly it from point A to point B several nautical miles away. And actually in the instrument training videos there is one flight that I did, I believe in the R44, without autopilot, flying using the VOR, and I even did an ILS approach, so it's very much possible. And once again, if you don't know how to use your instruments, in the description of this video you will have different links to the playlist, basic, intermediate, advanced instrument flying, so go complete your training. Here I'm just going to show you how it's done in this helicopter. Okay, so this is where you're going to be inputting your frequency, nav 1, okay, com 1, and actually I'm gonna set the frequency of the VOR here at 1 boom. Okay, and then here you will have the information when you switch, of course, the system on. Here is the distance, and below is you can choose between the time to reach the VOR station or your speed. Okay, I will leave it on time here, and when we will switch on the system you will see. And then of course here you have your OBS, to, from, and of course the deviation. And I've already explained how to use those instruments, so here we are just going to be doing a little flight around the airport, and then use the VOR to get back to the airport. And as soon as we can clearly see the airport, the layout, the runway, the helipad, we will proceed and land on the helipad. So I've already explained the startup procedure, so here I'm just gonna go through it without explaining too much, otherwise it's going to be much longer than intended. So here, okay, fuel okay, electricity okay, so there we go. Let it stabilize at idle. I'm going to turn on everything that I will need, and here of course you can set up the helicopter as you want, and also I'm flying with SAS off just to show you that it is possible. Okay, so now let's make those rotors in place. There it is. Of course, this is where you check for the weight. I use the menu, the usual explain option to set the weight, and here for the fuel. Now since the engine is running, if I want to add fuel, I use the usual menu. But if the airplane, the helicopter was not started up yet, you can use this. Okay, plus or minus to add fuel. So there it is, fully open. Visually check, lights off. Okay, and we've already just set, and then we will tune. Okay, we'll look for the appropriate heading once we're on flight. So here, 70. Okay, so we just check this, and altimeter already set. Very good. Okay, now in real life helicopters, we have self-centering joysticks, most of us, which helicopters don't. So one way to help us, kind of not always kind of pushing on the joystick, and especially when you are doing long flights without autopilot. So trimming the helicopter is one good way, because we have self-centering joysticks, and we've had the money to buy those expensive, cyclic, like the Hero helicopters. We would, but not all of us can afford it. So I will be trimming the helicopter accordingly, and also if I need to reset trim, okay, there's a plugin that I already mentioned in the previous video that you can use to reset the trims. But usually in flight, once I've trimmed the helicopter, I won't reset the trim, because the helicopter can do all sorts of weird things. I will just adapt and retrim if necessary until I land, and once I'm on ground I will reset the trim. Okay, so I will put the name of the plugin for resetting all the trim in the description in case you're interested to use it, and you just map it to one of your buttons, ideally on your joystick. So okay, so here before taking off, let's check. Strobe lights okay, ride out okay, additional light I don't need, no lights, altimeter set, okay, pitch indicator not going to need it, but we already set it properly. Fuel okay, electricity, temperatures, and rotor guarded. We are ready for takeoff, and we can put the map here. So just a small slide. Remember, this is a right power pedal helicopter. Okay, so I can't really read, but I'm seeing where the needle is for my power check. Everything in green, so let's go. So now at this point I'm not trimming, and the speed is indicated in kilometers per hour. So to roughly have an estimate of the speed in knots, to be able to do it mentally very fast, you just divide by 2. That's not the exact way to do it, but okay, like here it's around 120 kilometers per hour. Okay, so it's going to be roughly 60 knots, roughly. Okay, so if you have the possibility to grab your calculator and input the right calculation, but here, anytime, just take whatever you're reading here in kilometers per hour, divide by 2, and you will get roughly your speed in knots. Okay, so here around 65-ish knots. Okay, unless you get used to the kilometers per hour, which you will eventually if you fly the helicopter regularly. So here, just like I explained, trim the helicopter so that I don't have to fight with the controls. As you can see here, I'm not even pushing forward, just letting it climb or descend or level flight. Okay, and here, because we've already tuned in the frequency of the VOR station, you can have an indication here, 1.4 miles, because that's the VOR at the airport we just took off. Okay, and we're receiving signal to it. Just a little bit of flying if you want to turn, etc, etc. Now, of course, I've already covered all the basic, intermediate, and advanced exercises. You will find the links to the playlist in the description of the video, and also instrument flying and other stuffs. Here I'm just trimming it so that I don't have to fight too much. As you can see here, barely just moving to kind of maintain level flight and not really fighting with the stick here, so I can fly to my destination without autopilot, no problem. Okay, there it is. Now let's just turn and head back to the airport. Okay, now if I want to fly directly to the airport, okay, I can already adjust and then read the heading here. Okay, here we are close to the airport, of course, like kind of it's going to be very close to where we actually are, but if you are at a further distance, okay, you then center the needle and you look for the reading here. It's like 245 and you try to fly heading off 245, correcting for the wind, of course. It's necessary, like here, not really flying at 245, just a little bit off here, compass. And once again, this has already been explained in the appropriate video in the instrument training playlist. So here it was just to give you a, here I have the time. Okay, you have the time left to reach your destination, the distance. That's the instrument you need to look at. So I'm 1.6 nautical miles away from the VOR station. And once you get close enough to be able to identify the airport layout properly, you then proceed to visually continue. This helicopter, especially without SAS, would require some practice, to hand fly it. So try to, as much as possible, take off and land into the wind. But here, I believe the way I'm heading towards the helipad, I'm gonna land with a tailwind. But just for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to kind of take off, fly a little bit, show you the various instruments, where to tune in nav 1 and nav and COM1. Okay, we want to know how much you need to travel, where to read the distance, the time, etc. So yeah, so that you can now have a better time flying the helicopter. Instrument, VOR, navigation and all, we already have the training videos available in the, you have the link to the playlist in the description of the video. Yeah, that tailwind making things a little bit tricky for me here, especially given that I'm not used to right power pedal helicopters, so still there it is. But once again, as much as possible, land with a headwind. So that was, once again, just to sum it up, the helicopter does not have autopilot, so when flying I will trim using the default explain trim commands, and once in flight I won't reset the trim. I will just kind of adjust, retrim if necessary, and here I've landed. Now if I want, I can reset the trim. I just press the button to reset the trim. Okay, that's the hand flying part of like this helicopter. And now if you want to use VOR, there is where you need to input the frequency as we just did. Okay, and here is going to be where you read the distance, okay, nautical miles, and here you can switch from speed to the time left to reach your destination. You cannot interact with this, it will always be on. And this is your compass, okay, and this is your instrument. As you just saw, I have allocated keys so that I can do it in flight. So this is to, like here, if I was to fly towards the VOR, I center it, I read here 110, and then I will turn and fly heading up 110. And once again, this has been covered more in detail in the appropriate training video. You will find once again the playlist in the description of this video. So there it is. Let's proceed with the shutdown, given that we've already landed here. So the quick way, there are two ways. So just this here and off. Okay, and I'll proceed and switch off anything. This guy remains on. And once we are below 175, which we are already, so we will apply the auto brakes. We can just go ahead here, and like here to switch between this tablet here and every tab, that's the button. And by the way, it's version 2.4. It's just that this graphics here has not been updated, but it's version 2.4. Okay. So now that throttle came to a stop, let's say this is going to be your next start. You want to add fuel, there it is, just click on plus, okay, and you will add fuel. And to start the helicopter you will need the blade forward, already shown in the previous video, but just here I like to leave the helicopter 2 with the blade forward. And actually I think this is how you should there it is, forgot to release the rotor brake, of course, and position it. There you are in front, and then you can proceed. There it is, and this guy remains on for me. There it is. So put your headset back there, and you can exit the helicopter. So there it is. It's very fun helicopter to fly. It will require, a little bit of learning, especially like myself. I'm not used to ride power paddles helicopters, and flying the helicopter itself, it will require some training, some practice, and yeah, very, very, very nice helicopter. So I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.